Hey, this is Aaron Lombardo with North Star Reserves, and I'm going to give you some really straight talk. I'm going to tell you what I can't stand, what I don't like. I have a few pet peeves. One of those pet peeves is communities that can't stand on their own 2 feet because the financials aren't prepared. Because at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is just math. It's just good math. Now, there are good expertise and good efforts and tailoring that goes into that math. We do reserve studies in 7 states, and we do the tailoring and the math and the expectations and the reserve studies for those 7 states and do consulting and multiple others. Now, what I want to do is I want to give you a do-it-yourself opportunity here. So one of my pet peeves is when communities try to, cut their own teeth on this DIY study, and you end up building a spreadsheet and other people can't read it. It's not very useful. I find that other board members bring me some previous board members' DIY sheet and they can't read it. They don't know what to do with it, and they want us to create a reserve study and use it. And I throw it away every time and end up starting afresh because it's tailored to an individual as opposed to tailored to the components. So I'm going to do something that I think is a little bit crazy, but my team feels like this would be a great opportunity to just add one more tool, one more arrow in the quiver to help you out. We have created our own DIY version. Now, to be very clear, we do not build these reserve studies in Excel. We build them in a couple of different extremely robust softwares that allow us to really tailor the study to both how you're going to use it and the needs of your community, but each individual asset across 30 years of time, across inflation and many more indicators, including impacts of weather and so forth. So it's the software that we use is incredibly robust and takes years really to really understand all of the nuances and the power that comes with building reserve study. Now, that said, I told you that I've got a pet peeve, and that is that we have these DIY studies that are just a mess. So what we've done is we've created a DIY version in Excel. So the layperson should be able to take this DIY version, plug in your own numbers, and operate at least a very base level. Now, there are a lot of pieces and nuances that you just can't get out of an Excel sheet, which is why we use a software and which is why you have an expert, with decades of experience. That said, I'm going to give you this DIY version because I would rather you have some functional plan in the best manner that we could create for you in an Excel version, in a format that would be usable to you. So it's actually pretty good, all things considering, in Excel. We want to give that to you at only $35. Now, with that will come a training module. So you get a 5-part training module that's going to take you through and guide you through the usage and application of each step of building your reserve study in this Excel DIY spreadsheet. Okay, so we're not leaving you just with numbers and formulas to fill out. We're going to take you through it. We've pre-populated the formulas. We've pre-filled in some kind of downstream pieces that builds a funding model for you. What you've got to do is add in the individual components. And again, we've got a training module to help you with that. I think you're going to find this DIY version actually really helpful. And if your community is unwilling, or you just have somebody, that's singly wants to put the time in to really put together a DIY study, this is it. If you decide that you want to take it further, or if we can help you with that DIY study, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would happily help you. We would happily take your community to the next level if you wanted to do something more than the DIY study can do. If you wanted a third-party stamp on that and wanted to have a third-party look at the actual physical assets. Or in many cases, what we end up doing is consulting with you to help you vet out and document your community assets. So please take us up. It's only $35 for this DIY study. Now, to recap, here's what you're going to get. I'm going to send you the DIY study. It's an Excel version, pre-built template for building your own DIY study. I'm going to give you a 5-part training module of all of those pieces needed to build your DIY study. And on top of that, just for fun, I'm going to send you our 2023 Year at a Glance planner. So this is a phenomenal planner tool that I'm also going to throw in with you. We'll mail that directly to you. It's for 2023. It's got everything you need from yearly calendar, monthly calendar, weekly calendar, meeting minute notes, and much more, including reserve study expenses tracking for the next 5 years. So that's a phenomenal tool. I'm just going to send that to you. So again, you're going to get the DIY study, you're going to get a training module, and I'll send you our 2023 planner. And on top of that, I'm going to give you a 30-minute consulting with me to kind of launch your DIY efforts. So for only $35, you essentially are going to have all the tools you need to not only build a do-it-yourself reserve study for your community or property, but also the training that you need to kind of get you started and launch that with that math, with using the good math to make good decisions in your community. So I hope you find that extremely valuable. We love what we do and want to make your job a little easier on what you do. So please give us a call if you need anything outside of that. We're happy to help.